31 years ago, I became a roller coaster enthusiast in this station. Thank you for joining me here at Kings Island, one of my favorite all-time parks and probably the best night park in the world. Staying till 10 o'clock tonight. And I have a couple credits to get. Last time I was here, Banshee was down all day long. And I have a couple kitty credits to get as well, including the new for 2024 Snoopy Soapbox Racer. Last time I was here, Banshee was closed all day, so this is my first time seeing it running ever. So I came over here first to get this credit. Really happy to get a credit there on Banshee, one of my bucket list coasters. I missed it 2 years ago when I was here, and I love B&N inverts, so super happy to get on that one. So I only have one more American invert left to get. That's Patriot. That's a non-Batman clone. As for the ride, I sat in the back row, left seat. It was awesome. I think that honestly might be one of the best first drops for an invert. It was so cool. Also, I don't think I've ridden one with the vest restraints, so that was definitely different. It's a unique invert, and I'm not sure if it's better than a Raptor yet, but I will be back around to ride it again in the front later.
News service. All eyes are focused today on the secluded US military base as speculation.
Let's get off a ride there on Orion, and I am a Orion truther. I love it. I think it's great. Sure, it's short, but pretty much every element hits for me. That was a great ride. On the second row, it was awesome. Airtime actually on that second maneuver, and I usually didn't get too much airtime there last year, but I did. So I'm gonna definitely ride that one a lot. But yeah, my number 10 coaster, running great as ever. Love it. After riding Fury a lot the other day, just really get the difference in these two coasters. Fury's way more low to the ground, and Orion is more up. So you're up in the air most of the time at these very tall elements, which I guess makes sense with the theme of Orion. It really does feel like you're up in the sky a lot. One great thing about this park that I really like is that almost every ride I love here. It's like really strong throughout the entire lineup. Something for everyone at this park. Nice ride there on Diamondback, back seats in the middle row. Great B&M hyper, definitely has a little bit of a bite, no pun intended. I don't think it's detrimental to the ride at all, but I do like the layout on there, especially the first half. It does kind of die out that last little bit, but it does make up for it a little bit with the splashdown. I like it, you know, a little bit better than like Pandemonium, but probably not as much as some of the OGs like Nitro and Apollo's Chariot. Just came off a ride on Adventure Express. That is a great aero mine train, probably my favorite aero mine train. I actually enjoy that one. Kings Island just has such a stellar lineup from top to bottom. I mean, even like their old arrows are just so good. I love that. I love the new theming in there. Great to see that Kings Island is still taking care of Adventure Express.
That one always.
Came off my second ride ever on Banshee. It was awesome. I sat in the front seat on that one. That first drop is so cool for an invert. It's like so steep, it's awesome. I really like that invert. I think it's cool, you know, but I do miss the over the shoulder restraints. It didn't rattle for me that much, honestly, but I was sitting in the front. But yeah, it's more of a graceful invert, like I said, but also has a lot of power too, so it is intense. I think I like it better than Talon. Don't know if I like it better than Raptor or not. I'll have to like think about that, get a few more rides on it today. I do get super nostalgic for this ride as well. I rode this for the first time in the mid-90s as Top Gun, and I would ride it with my family quite a bit. So I always get that sense of the 90s Paramount Parks when I come back here. I still wish it had the Top Gun theme, and I still wish they had the original Bat too. I never got to ride that one. But we'll take what we can get on these old aero suspended coasters. They're going the way of the dodo, so let's hope this one stays at Kings Island for a long time to come. Right off the bat, that is some aero suspended goodness. That's probably my favorite suspended coaster now that Big Bad Wolf is defunct. So I guess my favorite operating one. I need to go to the one up at Canada's Wonderland at some point because I heard that one's a little bit better than the Bat here. But yeah, I think the Bat is still a great ride. I think it's awesome for this lineup. So good. That setting is amazing. It is a little short, but as far as the ride goes, I sat in the back row. It's great. It was that great drop for the suspended coaster. A lot of swaying, a lot of swinging. All right, Banshee's line has died down, so I'm gonna get some more re-rides on Banshee. And here is the marker for Son of Beast. I did have the unfortunate opportunity to ride Son of Beast opening year 2000, and it was a one and done for me. Probably one of the worst coaster experiences I've ever experienced. So I don't miss it, it's just kind of funny. Got off another great ride on Banshee in the back row. That is a stellar invert. Definitely a little rumbly in the back, but you know, nothing that gave me a headache or took away from the ride in any way. I think my favorite part of the ride is without a doubt the first drop. Element wise, I don't know, maybe that like slow roll was pretty cool, or that last helix was even pretty nice. But yeah, it's not my favorite invert. I still prefer like the whippy and the snappy ones, the smaller ones, but that one was great in its own right. Great fit here at Kings Island. So glad I got on that today. Just got off the air rail, and after riding Kitty Hawk at Carowinds just last week, I was expecting the worst with this one. Kitty Hawk makes this one seem smooth, so I think air rail is rough. Try Kitty Hawk, because I didn't bash my head at all on that one. It was a little rough, obviously, and jerky. It wasn't as bad as Kitty Hawk, so thanks for that. All right, and the soapbox is currently down right now, so I'll come back over a little bit and snag it. They're not kicking anyone out of line, so hopefully it's not a very long downtime. I'm gonna go grab some rides on Diamondback and Mystic Timbers. It's still pretty hot right now, but it is cooling down a little bit. I just had 2 back-to-back rides on Diamondback. That's a great coaster. It's growing on me for sure. Those first couple hills, I was graying out a little bit at the pullouts of those first couple hills, so really great forces. Really great airtime. I do think I like that one in the front row, actually. So Diamondback might be a front row ride for me, which I usually don't say a lot in general, let alone for a B&M Hyper. But now it's time to snag some rides on Mystic Timbers. Got a couple more rides on Mystic Timbers. Still running fast, what can I say? It's so good. One of the best out and backs out there. Got a ride on Snoopy's Soapbox Racer for the first time. That was my first ever Tacoma Family Boomerang. It was pretty cool. It was really smooth. It was short, obviously. So I wouldn't wait that long for that one. So if you're coming for the credits, yeah, I don't know, try to plan around that one because I could see that one having really slow loading times. Other of note is that my shins kind of hurt on that one. There's really no padding and the train kind of comes up and kind of wraps up. And the plastic or the fiberglass of the train kind of digs into your shins, especially when you're going back up that the lift hill there. A nice ride on Backlot Sun Coaster. That's a great family ride. Great, you know, starter launch coaster for kids and for families. Always like that one at all the parks that it's at. I always forget that indoor section's pretty cool in the dark. I really like that. That ride also makes me homesick every time I ride it. It's like I want to go back to LA. I want to get back home. One thing that I did notice, that I always notice on that ride, is that you're supposed to be on the 101, but then you like take an exit to Beverly Hills, and the 101 isn't even near Beverly Hills. So yeah, the 405 like kind of goes through Beverly Hills, not the 101. They need to fix it for some more realism there. How about let's get a Echo Park exit or something like that on there instead.
Due to the arrival of a new package, Department 47 staff will report to the arrival zone.
Check the media feed. See if you can pick up.
One of the best themings out there, left over from the Paramount era. So there's a mirror back there. It's an eye trick. It's only half of a UFO, but it looks like a full UFO because of the mirror in the back there. Really cool effect. Flight of Fear. Honestly, that one wasn't as good as I remember. I used to be a Flight of Fear defender, but I don't know if it was maybe the car or the train I was in, but I was towards the back and on the right side, and there was quite a bit of lateral shuffling in the trains and some of the elements, and I was bashing my shoulder into the car because the car kind of comes up high. A little bit rougher than I remember, but that's okay. Still a great launch and still love that. Had 4 rides on Orion. That makes 8 total for today. And I am heading back down towards Banshee. I feel like I haven't got enough rides on Banshee. I've only had 3 today. And since this is my first day ever riding it, I want to go get some more in and really get a feel for that coaster. There it goes. Well, dusk is quickly approaching here at Kings Island, which means that this park is about to come alive. Got a couple more rides on Banshee. I do like Banshee quite a bit. I don't like those vest restraints as much, especially on an invert, but it is, you know, unique. I like the 2 helixes a lot on that. And the first drop is just like one of the best on an invert because there's no like pre-drop or anything like that. It just gets right to business, and it's like really twisty, really steep. And it's really great forces on that We're gonna get about an hour of night rides here. I just got off 2 rides on Mystic Timbers and 1 ride on Diamondback at sunset. And you know what time it is now. Time to go on the Beast. That's right. As you know, it's very difficult to get video or photos of the Beast. A lot of these rides at Kings Island, to be honest, because they all go out into the woods. And the Beast is extra sentimental to me because About 30, either 30 or 31 years ago, I became a roller coaster enthusiast in this station. The Beast is the one that made me into who I am as a coaster enthusiast all those years ago. I'll never forget that night ride, following those white paws, and that station was just so electric. I remember just being a young kid and being so scared about what the Beast might be. I had no idea what was gonna happen. And I just remember that last helix, I'll never forget. I thought that the ride was gonna rip itself apart. And I was hooked ever since then. I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And I knew that the Thuzy life was for me. So the Beast has a special place in my heart. And I'm sure it does for a lot of people. And I'm so happy to be riding it on its 45th anniversary here tonight. There they go for their trip out into the woods. It's always great to be back here in this station. This is the one that started it all for me as a Thuzy all those years ago. And it still holds up today. Just got off an almost night ride on the Beast. It's nighttime, the sun is down, but it's not pitch black or anything. But that's what happens in summer. Even though the park closes at 10 o'clock, it doesn't really get dark probably until that time. So if you want to experience the Beast or any of these rides at like pitch black, I'd come back at like the Haunt, because the park is open late and it's obviously stays darker or gets darker earlier. But as far as the ride goes, yeah, it still holds up. It's definitely running a little bit rougher than I remember 2 years ago. They keep good care of it here, but wow, yeah, I could not believe that ride. It is just, everything that you've heard about it is true. It's just such an oddity, such an amazing coaster. We'll never see anything like that again. It's just so long. That helix delivered the best ending to any coaster ever. And that's just why I can't really, drop it in rankings ever, because the night ride delivers. That helix, yeah, it's been thrilling me for over 30 years now. And I love it still. I mean, just, you think the entire tunnel is just gonna shake off of the ride. And you get so close to that tunnel wall too, and that helix, it's just, I don't understand it. All right, we have about 45 minutes till park closing, so I'm gonna see how many rides I can get on Orion. Park here looking beautiful. Came away with 2 night rides on Orion. Wow, I love that ride. Definitely in my top 10, it's staying there. That first drop is so good. It is better than Fury. I know it's shorter, but it's just something about the shaping. I feel like it's just like longer and steeper, and the pull out is just way more intense, I feel like, on Orion. My favorite element other than the first drop would have to be the speed hill. But I do pretty much like every single element on that. I like the helix a lot. I like the turnaround. I even, like I said earlier, before I thought a weak spot was that second element, that just kind of like that weird hill that kind of turns you on your side, but it was hitting today. So yeah, it's a little short, but man, it's so fast, and it pulls some good forces too. Gray out a little bit at the bottom of the drop, gray out a little bit in that helix. Fury doesn't really, make you gray out at all. Maybe a little bit on the drop. Not that you have to gray out to make a good ride or anything, but just comparing. But yeah, wow, what a night ride. I love those blue lights going up the first hill. So good. Anniversary magnets are so cool. I also didn't realize that Kings Island really planned out their coasters. We have 45 anniversary for the Beast, 15 years for Diamondback, and 10 for Banshee. This is a good year. Come to Kings Island. All right, going with this one here, I am a magnet guy. I love the Beast logo so much. Reminds me of R.L. Stine and the Goosebump books. That's gonna wrap up my night here at Kings Island. It was so good to be back here at Kings Island. This is one of my favorite parks in America. Just a stacked coaster lineup. Final tallies for tonight. I had 10 on Orion, 6 on Mystic Timbers, 5 on Banshee, and 5 on Diamondback. I also got one almost night ride on the Beast. One of my favorite experiences out there. Very sentimental to me as well. And I also rode a couple of these other coasters like the Bat, Backlot Stunt Coaster, and Flight of Fear. So major pro of today was the ops. Ops were great, running 3 trains on pretty much everything. Ops were getting them out. Seemed like there were quite a bit of guest passes and things like that that they were dealing with, and they still got trains out all day long. They were really great. One major con of this park is this lack of shade. There is barely any shade in this park. Not too many trees and barely any shade structures. It gets hot here. It was hot today. You're just coming from a park like Dorney Park last week. I mean, there is some great shade at Dorney Park, and you really see the difference compared to Kings Island and their lack of shade. Another major pro of this park, and I've talked about it quite a bit today, is just the lineup. Got to get on Banshee today, and that just adds to the already stellar lineup. I mean, you think it's a top-heavy lineup because you have Orion, the Beast, Mystic Timbers, Diamondback, and Banshee, but there are great supporting cast of coasters here. The Bat, one of the best suspended aero coasters out there, and Adventure Express. As an aero mine train, obviously, it's the best aero mine train out there, but just on mine trains alone, it's really great. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like Disney level or anything, but as far as the ride goes, it's really great. I actually really like that one too. So the coaster collection at Kings Island is just phenomenal. And of course, the nighttime here at Kings Island is just unmatched. The Beast, Diamondback, Orion, they're all so good at night. Mystic Timbers, another stellar night ride. This park really comes alive at night. I tell people when I meet them, if you're coming to Kings Island, make sure that you are planning to be here when night falls. This isn't one of those parks that you come to and it closes at 8. It's not one of those parks that you come to and you leave at 6 or 7. Plan your time at Kings Island around being here at night, and whatever you do, make sure you get on the Beast at night. That's gonna wrap things up for me here at Kings Island. Heading up to Cedar Point right now, so make sure to stick around. Please make sure to like, subscribe, leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite coaster is here at Kings Island. I would love to know because they have such a stacked lineup. If someone told me their favorite coaster here at Kings Island, I would probably agree with them, even though Orion's my favorite. But I want to know your favorite, so please let me know in the comments below what's your favorite coaster here at Kings Island. Hey, but thanks for watching. If you stuck around this long, please consider following. Thanks again, and we will check you next time.